Name's Mike Harlan. I pull dry van mostly, Oklahoma base. Been running long haul since or more behind the wheel. Nothing surprises you anymore. That's not true. Out there, the road still finds ways to screw with you. Quiet ways. Subtle. The kind that don't make the news but keep you up nights. I learned that the hard way on a haul through the Texas Panhandle, running I-40 like I'd done 100 times. It was supposed to be a clean stretch. 2-day run from Albuquerque to Little Rock. Freight was sealed, standard load, dry goods, food service pallets, nothing fancy. I left early, 5:30 a.m., wanted to beat the Amarillo lunch jam. Weather was good, cool for July. Rig was humming fine, 2020 Freightliner I'd kept in solid shape. Tires checked, fluids good, reefer off, but idle time was perfect. Got my coffee, 2 sausage biscuits, bottle of water, headed out with 20 tons behind me and the CB on Channel 19, even though it's mostly chatter and trucker memes these days. Things felt easy, even dull. Around mile marker 56, maybe 10 miles past Vega, I saw the first sign. Big orange DETOUR board on the right shoulder, arrow pointing off the main line. Right next to it was one of those portable message signs blinking, "Road closed ahead, use alt route." It wasn't flashing in sequence like the older DOT units. It looked new. You start to recognize those details after enough miles. I slowed a bit, took a look at the GPS. Map didn't show any closures, but I've learned not to trust that alone. Sometimes state DOTs don't update quick, especially in the boonies. I'd seen random closures before, overturned trailers, police activity, even livestock loose on the road. Could have been anything. There were orange cones funneling traffic onto the off-ramp. No troopers in sight, but the setup looked official. Figured maybe construction hit early. No reason to question it. I followed the detour. The ramp dumped me onto a paved frontage road that ran parallel to the interstate, maybe 50 yards off. No big deal at first. Thought it might loop me back around in a few miles. I'd seen that before. Quick reroute to keep semis moving. But about a mile in, the cones vanished. No more signs. Just me, the frontage road, and dry scrub on both sides. No buildings, no traffic. I kept rolling slow, about 35, looking for where it reconnected. Should have hit a junction by now. Glanced at my phone, no bars. That's normal out there, but still not fun. I gave it 5 more minutes. Still nothing. My gut started whispering something was off. I've ignored that voice before. Never worked out in my favor. This time I listened. Pulled over on the shoulder, threw on my flashers. Got out, walked up ahead about 20 yards looking for a sign, a marker, anything. But there was nothing. No road paint, no markers, not even tire wear on the edge. I turned back to the truck and just stood there a second, hands on hips. The silence hit me. No wind, no birds, not even a bug buzzing around. Just the idle of my truck ticking like a metronome. That's when I got the itch on the back of my neck, like someone was watching. I scanned the road again, still nothing. Got back in the cab, killed the engine, sat for a minute. It felt like being parked in a soundproof box. I checked my atlas. Yeah, I still keep one. Old school habit. The road I was on didn't show up. Nothing parallel to the 40 for that stretch, not for trucks anyway. A couple oil access roads way south, but this wasn't one of them. And that's when I asked myself, not for the first time that trip, what the hell kind of detour has no re-entry point? Ever seen something like that? A sign you followed because it looked right, only to feel it was wrong once you were in too deep? I figured maybe I'd missed the curve or something. Maybe the detour signs got yanked by wind or vandals or just lazy road crews. Happens more than you'd think. I nudged the truck forward slow, eyes scanning for any sign of pavement markings or turnoffs. Still nothing, just that narrow blacktop winding east, then dropping into gravel, then down to dirt. No fences, no mailboxes, no side roads. Just brush and mesquite and the occasional meshed-up cattle gate laying off to the side like a forgotten thing. I checked my mirrors. Empty behind me.
Looked ahead, flat and dead as old bones. Still no cell service. My CB was crackling faint static, but no voices. Dead zone. One of those spots where the map says you're in Texas, but it might as well be Mars. I started feeling like I'd wandered off the damn map. The road curved around a little rise in the land, and right as I cleared it, I saw a flatbed up ahead, jackknifed across both lanes of the dirt track. Big rig, older Peterbilt, paint stripped by sun, grill half caved in like someone taken a bat to it. No driver in sight, no hazards flashing, no one waving me down. It was just there, like someone parked it and walked off. But it wasn't blocking the road clean. It was turned at an angle, enough that I could squeeze by if I hugged the shoulder. Except the shoulder wasn't much. Soft dirt, maybe 2 feet wide, then a shallow ditch and a patch of scrub. I pulled up maybe 50 yards short and idled. Didn't like it. Didn't like the way it looked staged. My brain started stacking pieces. That detour sign that looked too new, the road that led nowhere, no markings, no signal, and now this truck right in my path, like it was placed there. I shut off my engine again. Sat in the cab, window cracked, ears open. Not a damn sound. No birds, no bugs, just that distant pop of heat expanding metal. I reached for my dash drawer, pulled out the flashlight and a folding wrench bar I keep taped under the tray. Not a weapon, just a piece of metal in case I had to knock rust off a frozen pin or thump a tire. Still, something about holding it made me feel better. I stepped out quiet, boots crunching dry gravel. Walked up slow to the edge of the ditch, scanning the flatbed. No markings, no company logos, just a sun-bleached rig with a trailer that looked like it hadn't hauled anything in months. Tires were deflated halfway, maybe cooked in the sun. Then I saw the detail that clinched it. There were no drag marks, no signs it skidded out or lost control, no dirt piles at the wheels like it had slid into that position. The truck was parked that way, deliberate. I backed off, got in my cab, locked the door. Now I was sitting there, boxed in. Going forward meant threading past that rig and gambling it wasn't some kind of trap. Going backward? That road was too narrow to reverse a 53-foot trailer without a proper shoulder. Maybe a mile back I could have turned, but not here. I was in it now. I fired the engine back up, hands on the wheel, thinking. Maybe it was abandoned. Maybe some meth had dumped it. Could be. But then again, why here? Why on a fake detour that didn't show on any map? That's when I checked my mirrors again, and I saw the footprints. 2 sets. In the dirt, by my trailer doors. Not mine. Too fresh. I'd only stopped for a couple minutes earlier when I first pulled over. No one passed me, no vehicles, no walkers, nothing. But now I was seeing clear marks, like boots had circled the back end and stood there for a while. The dust hadn't even settled. I stepped out again, fast this time, wrench in hand, walked to the trailer doors, scanning the locks. Seal was still on, unbroken, padlock untouched. But those prints, they were real. I could see the tread pattern, Red Wing or Carhartt-style soles, spaced wide, like someone heavy had been standing back there. 2 sets, side by side. No dragging, no running, just standing. Waiting, maybe, or watching. I looked up at the ridgeline to the right of the road. Low hill, scrub brush scattered across it, and there it was. A glint. Just a flash, maybe sunlight off glass. Then it was gone. My heart kicked up a notch. I walked backwards, slow, eyes on the hill. Got back in the truck, kept my eyes up. No movement now. I started running the math in my head. If someone staged that flatbed to block the path, and someone had already been close enough to check my trailer without me seeing, I wasn't just unlucky. I'd been led here. I dropped the truck into drive, eased forward,
Past the flatbed slow, eyes darting. Nobody inside. Cab was empty, windows dirty but intact. I pushed through the squeeze on the shoulder, tires just catching the edge of the ditch. Felt the weight shift as the right side dipped, but I kept it moving steady. One jolt, one bad bounce, and I'd bury the trailer axle deep in sand. But I made it past. Kept rolling another 100 yards until I hit a wide patch where I could stop and see the mirror view. That flatbed sat there, quiet, still, but I knew what I saw. Footprints, glint. No way this was just bad routing. This was something else.
I didn't have answers yet, but I knew I wasn't supposed to be there. Not by chance. Somebody wanted trucks off that interstate, and they were setting the bait right on the side of the road. I didn't drive far after that. Maybe 2 miles, slow crawl, watching every ridge line and fence post like they were about to move. The road started dipping a bit, curving into a shallow valley. Still dirt, still no signs of life either. Not a house, not a cow, not a single damn bird in the sky. Just heat and silence. I finally found a pullout, a wide spot where maybe ranchers turn trailers around. I took it, parked nose out, engine idling, killed the lights, sat there. Didn't want to move till I had a plan. And to have a plan, I needed to understand what I was in. Not a random detour, that much I knew. Somebody went to a lot of trouble for it to look real. Cones, signs, message board, even the angle of the turnoff. Too clean to be thrown together by some pranksters. And those footprints at my trailer, that told me it wasn't just about redirecting traffic. Someone wanted to see what I was hauling. Or worse, get it. What they didn't count on was me stopping before they were ready. I shut off the engine, opened the door soft, listened. Still nothing. No wind, no bugs, just heat pressing down like a wool blanket. I climbed down, slow, wrench bar in hand again, and walked a small circle around the truck. Tires good, trailer still sealed, but I didn't like how visible I was. Open dirt flatland around me, not enough cover. If someone wanted to watch me, they could from a long way off. I scanned the hill I'd just come over. No movement, no glint this time. I climbed back in, slid over to the passenger seat, pulled my cooler out, took a sip of warm water, and chewed on the edge of a jerky stick without really tasting it. Just habit. My body wanted fuel, even if my mind was running circles. I thought about calling for help, but the phone still had 0 signal. CB was still dead too. Not even the usual Mexicali radio bleed you get near the border. I was blind out there. 10 minutes passed, then 20. I was just about to start her up again when I caught motion in the side mirror. Not close, maybe 300 yards out, coming up slow from behind, mostly hugging the ditch line. It was a truck, not a semi, pickup. Old F-150 or Dodge Ram, dark-colored, windows tinted darker. Moving slow, real deliberate. No dust trail, like they knew how to keep quiet. I stayed still, didn't even touch the keys, just watched. The truck stopped about 100 yards back. Not close enough to make out faces, but close enough that if they had glass, they could see inside my cab. I didn't wave, didn't honk, just sat there, like I hadn't seen them. They didn't move either, just idled. I waited 5 minutes, felt like an hour. Then the pickup backed up, turned off into a shallow cut in the brush, and disappeared like it had never been there. I started breathing again. Not fast, not loud, just steady. Then I heard a crunch. Footsteps. Outside the truck. Rear driver's side. I stayed low in the seat, reached under, pulled out the flashlight again. Not to see, just to grip something. Then I leaned just enough to peek out the window. Nothing there. I shifted to the passenger side, craned forward, and caught a glimpse of a figure stepping back into the brush behind my trailer. Tan shirt, work boots, short sleeves. Not moving fast, like he wasn't in a rush. I waited another minute, then cracked the driver door
and slid out quiet. I stayed low behind the wheel well, worked my way to the back of the trailer. Nothing. No one. But there were fresh boot prints again. Different angle now, closer to the door handle. Whoever it was had come up, checked the lock, and stepped back off into the scrub. I looked out toward the brush but saw nothing moving. Whoever it was knew the land. That much was clear. I climbed back into the truck. This time I started it up, no hesitation. I backed out of the pullout slow, turned the rig back toward the direction I came. Maybe I could squeeze back by that flatbed, or at least find a turnout to spin the trailer around and get out of this mess. My mind wasn't made up yet, but one thing was clear. I wasn't going to wait around for round 2, not without knowing what the hell I was dealing with. I rolled 100 yards, then 200 yards. Still nothing. Just that road winding back west. Then I caught another flash in the corner mirror. Up ahead this time, maybe half a mile. Another vehicle. Just sitting. This one wasn't even trying to hide. Parked in the open like a welcome mat. Another pickup, or maybe the same one circling around? My guess, they were testing me. Seeing how I'd move, how fast I'd spook, what direction I'd run. I dropped her into neutral, let the engine idle, put the parking brake on. Sat there again. I'd driven thousands of miles through worse weather, heavier traffic, rougher roads. But this was different. This wasn't mechanical. It was human. And that's what made it harder. Machines break. People scheme. You don't fix schemes with a wrench. They weren't in a rush, whoever they were. And they weren't dumb either. They were watching my behavior, seeing if I'd call for help, leave the cab, crack the trailer open, panic. But they didn't count on one thing. I don't panic. I wait. I watch. And if it comes to it, I fight smart. This wasn't going to be their easy score. Not today. I knew I couldn't just sit there forever. Whatever game they were playing, it wasn't about a quick smash and grab. They were too quiet, too patient. This was something else, like they were studying me, maybe waiting for the right moment. I eased the truck forward, slow and steady, watching that vehicle up ahead. Still parked. No movement. Just sitting there like a checkpoint in the middle of nowhere. I couldn't tell if someone was inside or not. The sun was in the wrong spot, and those windows were dark as coal.
I coasted closer, maybe a quarter mile, then braked and just watched again. If they wanted to stop me, that's where they'd try it. There wasn't enough road to turn around without risking burying my trailer in the ditch, so I took the next best option. I swung a wide U-turn into the dirt on the right, front tires dipping a little as I cut across a bare patch and got the rig angled west again. The tires grunted, but held. The trailer swayed heavy, but cleared the turn. I didn't care about finesse at that point. I just wanted out. I got her straightened and picked up some speed. 30, 35, headed back toward the way I came. Still no cell signal, but the terrain started to open up again. Just maybe I could make it back to the interstate if I didn't catch a rut or blow a steer. But nothing's ever that easy. 2 miles back, I saw it. A pickup, not the same one, or maybe it was and they doubled back. This one was parked across the road, sideways, blocking it. Not hard, not aggressively, just parked there like some ranch hand fixing a gate, except there was no gate, no tools, and the guy standing next to it wasn't holding anything but a water bottle. I slowed up, brought the truck to a crawl, watched him through the windshield. He didn't wave, didn't move toward me, just stood there, facing me, like he was waiting to see what I'd do. I opened the window a few inches, called out through the gap. "You broke down or what?" Nothing. He squinted like I'd spoken a different language. "Hey, need a tow man?" Still nothing. I put it in park, stepped out, left the engine running, held the wrench bar low at my side, not obvious, not hidden, walked 10 feet out from the cab. "You all right?" He finally spoke. "Yeah, just checking on something." His voice was low, even.
Local maybe, or trying to sound like it. Tan shirt, jeans, work boots. No logo, no name tag. Clean, but not new. Pickup behind him had no plates I could see, just a black trailer hitch and dusty bumper. "What are you checking?" I asked, keeping my tone light. He shrugged. "Heard there was a broken rig out this way. You see anything?" "Yeah," I said. "Flatbed, couple miles east. Looked abandoned." He nodded slow, like he already knew. "You headed back?" "Yeah, route looked wrong. Thought better of it." He nodded again. "Probably smart." We just stood there a second. I didn't move, neither did he. Then he stepped aside, walked back to the driver door, got in the pickup, and started it up. Didn't say another word. Backed it up just enough to give me a tight path through, then sat there, engine running, waiting. I climbed back into the truck, hands a little sweaty, rolled forward, slow as hell, squeezing past his bumper with maybe a foot to spare. Didn't look over, just kept my eyes on the mirrors, checked that my trailer cleared the rear of his truck. Once I was past, I gunned it. Not hard, but enough to make a point. Got up to 45, dirt flying off the tires, trailer bucking a bit, but I didn't let up till the flatbed came into view again. Still there, still silent, still staged, but now I didn't care about threading past it clean. I'd already been squeezed once. I wasn't stopping again. I stayed to the far left, hit the rough edge of the road, felt the whole truck rattle as the trailer leaned into the ditch lip. Tires kicked up rocks and dust, but I pushed through, cleared it, didn't slow, just kept going. Then, something changed. I hit a bend I didn't remember, a sharp right turn I swore wasn't there before. The road forked. No sign, no markings, just two dirt paths, one straight into more brush, the other veering back northwest. I had to pick, fast. I trusted my nose and took the turn. It curved hard, then dipped, and suddenly the dirt started looking more like gravel again. Then I saw a fence line, some utility poles, and about a mile out what looked like real pavement. I almost laughed. Almost. I rolled up on it, and there it was. County road, no sign, but I recognized it from the map later. FM 2377 or something like that. It would link back to the 40 near a gas stop just outside Vega. I turned east and rolled hard. First thing I saw when I hit blacktop again was a rusted mile marker, then a roadkill jackrabbit, then a washed-out billboard for a fireworks store that probably hadn't been open since Clinton was in office. I didn't stop, not until I saw the Shell station on the south side of the freeway. I pulled in, parked way out on the truck side next to an old cattle hauler with New Mexico tags. I cut the engine and sat there a long while, watching the rear view. No pickups, no one followed. Just that long Texas sun beating down on the roof like it hadn't seen me run for my life in silence just an hour earlier. I sat in that Shell lot longer than I meant to, just stared out the windshield and let the engine tick down, then off. My shirt was stuck to my back, palms still sweaty, heart working like it was hauling uphill. I didn't get out right away. Didn't even check my phone, though bars were finally back. I just sat there and let the quiet settle. The normal kind. The kind with passing trucks and far-off highway noise. Real life again. Eventually, I climbed out, stretched, walked stiff-legged to the fuel island and grabbed a bottle of Gatorade. The guy behind the counter didn't say much, just nodded, rang me up, slid the change across the counter like he'd seen ghosts come through before, and figured I was just another one. When I got back to the truck, I finally checked the phone. 6 missed calls from dispatch, 2 from the receiver, 1 voicemail from a number I didn't recognize. Dispatch first. "Mike," Linda said, that clipped tone like I'd made her day harder. "Where the hell are you? You were supposed to check in before Amarillo." I called her back, told her I hit a detour just east of Vega. No signal, weird back road, couldn't reach out.
I kept it vague. She paused. A detour? Yeah, looked official. Flash sign, cones, whole thing. Sent me off 40 for a while. Damn near took me off the grid. You see a trooper or any kind of crew? Nope, just signs, then nothing. She went quiet, just static on the other end for a second. "All right," she said finally. Just get to the drop. You're going to be tight on the clock." I hung up, but that last part stuck in my head. She didn't ask questions, didn't seem surprised. That bugged me. I rolled back onto I-40 and kept east. Every mile felt heavier, like the weight in the trailer wasn't just freight anymore, but questions that wouldn't let go. I passed the spot where the fake detour had been. Nothing there now. No cones, no signboard, just the off-ramp like any other. I slowed a bit, checked the shoulder. There were faint tire marks in the dirt, but they could have been from anyone. No proof, just that gnawing feeling. A couple hours later, I hit the receiver yard in Little Rock. Got docked, unloaded. No damage, nothing missing. The guys there signed the bill of lading like it was any other day, routine. I asked one of them, casual-like, if they ever had drivers get hit on the way in. He looked at me sideways. Like, robbed? Yeah, or cargo stolen. He shrugged. Heard stories, not lately though. You all right? Yeah, just weird route. GPS glitched. He smirked. Happens. Back at the truck, I checked the voicemail from that unknown number. Guy's voice, maybe mid-30s, slow draw. Just letting you know, wrong turn can cost more than time. Watch where you run, friend. That was it. No name, no number to call back. I played it twice, saved it, then deleted it. Figured if someone wanted me to hear it, they'd send it again. I spent the night at a pilot east of town. Parked with the others, nose out, doors locked. Curtain cracked just enough to see the lot. Every sound outside made my stomach tense. A reefer kicking on, air brakes popping, someone slamming a cab door too hard. Each one felt like a warning. Around midnight, I saw a pickup cruise slow through the lot. Old Ford, same body style as before. Could have been nothing. Could have been everything. It didn't stop, just crawled past the line of trucks and out the other side. No plates lit up, no reason for it to be there. I didn't sleep much after that. Next morning, I hit the road early. Still had to deadhead west for my next load, and I wasn't keen on making the same route. Took 30 south, cut back toward I-20. Longer way around, but I figured it was worth the fuel. A couple hours in, I called a buddy of mine, Kenny, runs flatbed out of Flagstaff. Old hand, knows the panhandle better than most. "Hey," I said, "you ever hear about fake detours out by Vega?" He didn't even pause. Yeah? A couple years back, guy I know got pulled off a side road like that, lost his trailer. They found it empty in Lubbock 2 days later. Cops said it was a misunderstanding. Did he report it? Yeah.
Nothing came of it. Sheriff didn't want to touch it. Said DOT didn't place any signs, figured it was stolen and dumped. But that ain't how these guys work. What guys? The kind that know how to set bait. The kind that ain't in a rush. I felt my jaw tighten. They ever catch anyone? Not officially. We didn't say much after that. Didn't need to. By the time I made it back west, I had a decision to make. I could run the 40 like I always had, cut across Texas, roll into Amarillo, easy path east. Or I could reroute for good, take the southern swing, add hours, lose fuel, but maybe sleep easier. I stopped at a Love's, pulled out my old atlas, drew a line around the whole stretch between Vega and Groom, marked it red. Wouldn't touch that piece of road again. Not alone. Not without backup. Not ever. Whatever I'd driven into, it wasn't over. Not for me, not for the next guy. But maybe the next guy won't stop. Maybe he'll push forward, not notice the glint on the ridge or the fake tread marks in the dirt. And maybe he'll wake up in a dirt lot with his trailer doors hanging open and nothing left but questions. That's the thing about the road. It's not always the potholes that break you. Sometimes it's the places that look smooth but lead you nowhere. A couple weeks later, I was back in Oklahoma City, home terminal. Truck parked, paperwork squared away, laundry finally done. I was off the road for 3 days, resetting my hours and my nerves. That time off should have been quiet, but I couldn't shake it. The fake detour, the guy by the truck, the voicemail. It kept playing in my head like a loop I couldn't kill.
One afternoon, I drove out to the little sheriff's office west of Vega, just to see if they had anything on record. The place looked like it hadn't changed since 1988. Dusty front steps, one patrol cruiser out front, and an old guy at the desk with a nameplate that said, M. Rainey. I walked in, nodded, said, "Afternoon. Got a minute?" He didn't look up right away, just finished whatever he was typing, then blinked up like I'd surprised him. "You lost?" "No, sir. Just passing through a couple weeks back. Ran into something strange near I-40. Fake detour signs. Took me down a dirt road, maybe 8-10 miles. No service, no exit." That got his attention. He straightened a little, leaned forward. "Where exactly?" "A couple miles east of Vega. Big arrow sign, digital board blinking, cones lined up like a proper closure. Then nothing." He rubbed his jaw. "You report this?" "Not yet. Figured I'd stop in person." "You get hurt?" "No, but someone came up on my rig, checked my trailer when I was parked. Had a guy block me in at one point, acted like he was just checking on something." Rainey exhaled hard through his nose. "Yeah," he said slow. "We've had a few incidents, but no one sticks around long enough to give a full report." "You had drivers go missing?" "No, but we've had abandoned trailers, a couple rigs ditched up in the brush."
Drivers say they got turned around or broke down, but the stories are thin. I leaned on the counter a little. "So you know something's going on?" He nodded. "Unofficially, DOT says there weren't any closures out there the week you're talking about. We checked. Nothing permitted, nothing scheduled. That digital board you saw? Not ours. Not state's either. Stolen? Could be. Could be someone bought it. You'd be surprised what ends up at auctions." I looked at him. "You got photos of anything?" He shook his head. "You got proof?" "Just a voicemail. No name, number blocked." He made a face like he'd heard that before. "They never say who they are?" "Nope. Just said I took the wrong turn. Watch where you run, friend." Rainey sighed and stood up. "Come on," he said. "Let me show you something." He took me through a side door into a back room, wall of corkboard with push pins, few printouts and photos tacked up. Most were blurry, trail cam shots, satellite images, tire tracks and dust. But one photo stopped me. A red reefer backed into a washout gully, doors open, empty. Side was tagged with a number I recognized. "That was ours," I said. "Same company. We lost that trailer last year. Heard it was a dispatch screw-up." He looked at me. "Wasn't a screw-up. Driver said he was rerouted by signs, got stuck in sand and walked out to get help. By the time he got back, trailer was gone." "And no one followed it?" "No plates, no cameras. Road wasn't even on the damn GPS. Local rancher found the trailer empty 6 days later." I stared at the board. "So it's been happening?" "Yep." "Why isn't it news?" He gave me a look like I was born yesterday. "Because it's not a good story. No deaths, no shootouts, no bodies. Just missing freight and scared drivers who don't want to talk about it once they're out. Company lawyers smooth it over. Insurance pays. DOT shrugs. So no one's doing anything? We keep our eyes open. That's about it." I left that office with a sour taste in my mouth. The whole thing was dirtier than I thought. Not just some local punks with a pickup and a pair of bolt cutters. Whoever was doing this knew the road, knew the system, and knew just how far they could push before someone really noticed. I called Kenny again from the parking lot. "You were right. Sheriff's got a whole damn board on it." "Yeah, I figured." "What the hell do we do?" "Same thing we've always done. Watch each other's six, keep your head low, and don't stop where it's too quiet." Later that night, I took a longer look at my logs. I checked every load I hauled through that stretch in the last 2 years. It was more than I thought. 10 trips, maybe more. All legit, but a few of them had routes that took me close to sketchy side roads I'd never thought twice about. And I started thinking different. Not just about how I drive, but what I'm carrying. Most of us don't even know half the time. It's a sealed load. Paperwork says dry goods or produce or auto parts.
but some of those loads are worth tens of thousands. And when you're out in the middle of nowhere, no eyes, no signal, no backup, that's a jackpot for someone who knows how to bait a hook. Next day, I got my trailer checked top to bottom, bolted on an extra lock, had a buddy wire in a GPS puck hidden under the rear axle, independent from the company's tracker, one of those cheap ones that pings a private line, just in case. Paranoia? Maybe. Or maybe just survival. Because here's the thing. That stretch of I-40, it's not about bad luck. It's not about one wrong turn. It's about someone figuring out how to make you turn, make it look like your choice, and then leave you out there just long enough for them to take what they want. And if they don't get it this time, they wait. Maybe weeks, maybe months. But they remember, they watch. I don't park with my back to open land anymore, and I don't ignore that itch between the shoulder blades when the world gets too quiet. It's been 6 months since that detour pulled me off I-40, and I haven't run that stretch since. Not once. Doesn't matter if dispatch begs, doesn't matter if it adds 3 hours to my route. I go around. South through Abilene, east through Shreveport, whatever it takes. I got a red line drawn on my atlas now, and it cuts right across the Texas Panhandle like a scar. They get a groom is a no-go zone for me. Some folks laugh when I tell them. Come on, Mike, they say. You think somebody's really out there setting up traps for trucks? You watch too much cable on your resets. I don't argue. Let them laugh. Most of those guys haven't spent a night staring out a windshield, parked in the middle of nowhere, waiting to see if that shadow out by the tree line is moving or not. Most of them haven't had their trailer stocked in silence. They don't know what it's like to roll through farmland with no service, no help, no way to call for anything but God, and maybe not even Him if the signal's bad enough. I stopped talking about it to most folks, except a few, guys like Kenny, a couple old-timers from my terminal who've had close calls of their own. They get it. They've seen things out here that don't make police reports. Doesn't mean they're ghost stories. It just means nobody's filing paperwork when the threat comes with a friendly voice and a fake sign. I've made changes since that run, small things mostly. I always keep the dash cam on now, even when I'm parked. Got a rear camera too, hidden in the corner above the trailer doors. It records to an SD card, no cloud, no signal needed. It just runs. I check it once a week. Haven't caught anything strange yet, but that's not the point. The point is, if someone walks up on my rig again, I'll see them. I'll know. I also stopped running certain loads. I don't take sealed shipments where the paperwork just says general freight.
I want item codes, manufacturer origin, bill of materials. If it's electronics, alcohol, over-the-counter meds, anything that'll disappear fast and sell faster, I say no. Dispatcher got mad about that at first. Said I was being picky. I told her I'm not being picky, I'm being careful. She backed off after a week. I think someone up the food chain flagged my file quietly. Nobody pushes those loads on me anymore. I still get voicemails from blocked numbers. Not often, maybe once a month. No threats, just short, stupid stuff like watch the signs or stay in your lane, driver. Always the same voice, calm, almost polite, like they're just checking in. I don't delete them. I save them to a thumb drive I keep in my glove box, just in case someone finally decides to give a damn about what's going on out there. Funny thing is, I've gotten more careful in ways I didn't even mean to. I keep an old school CB mic on the dash now, even though nobody talks on 19 anymore unless there's a bear trap or a backup, but I still do a roll call now and then. Ask if anyone else is seeing detours, weird side roads, unmarked pickups on the shoulder. Most times, silence. But every once in a while, I get a crackle and a voice that says, "Yeah, I seen that," or "Was wondering if I was the only one." We don't say much, just enough to know we're not alone. That road changed me, not in some dramatic way,
I still haul loads, still sleep in the cab half the week, still curse at traffic on I-30 like everybody else. But my eyes don't rest easy anymore. When the sun goes down and I'm 30 miles from the nearest town, I watch the tree lines more than I watch the road. I check my mirrors too often. Sometimes I stop the truck just to listen. Not for engines, for footsteps, for breath. I got a buddy who says the highway teaches you everything you need to know if you listen long enough. I think that's true. But it doesn't always teach with words. Sometimes it teaches with silence, with heat and dust and empty roads that shouldn't be empty, with signs that don't belong where they are, with a man standing beside a truck who's not there to help you. I don't run scared, though, don't get me wrong. I still love the road. Still love the early morning pull-offs with black coffee and a sky big enough to make you feel like a flea on a windshield. Still love the hum of the tires when you're cruising smooth at 65, steady and clean. But now I run smarter, wiser, maybe a little colder. That's the cost. That's the tax you pay when you learn the road has cracks no map shows. So yeah, I took a wrong turn once. But I didn't get lost. I just found out how close the edge really is when no one's looking, and how easy it is for someone to push you over it without ever laying a hand on you.